Yeah, good morning again and welcome. Please confirm you can hear me clearly, loud and clear, please.
Yes, sir, we
Yes,
can
sir,
hear
we
you.
can hear you, sir.
Yes, I can
Yeah,
hear
all
you.
right. So today we'll be looking at array and array method, which is a very commonly used in JavaScript. Aside from defining variables in likes of the primitive variables, you will also come across arrays, which is when you start making API calls, all your data are going to be coming in form of an object, and you have to destructure it and make use of the data inside. So, what is an array? Array is a group of similar element or data item of the same collection and cognitive memory. It's in simple words, you can use that for programming language. That is just a simple explanation, but it doesn't really capture what an array is, but this is how an array syntax looks like. So when you're talking about an array, when you're talking about an array, this is how an array looks like. We have something like this const. Arrays, as I mentioned, is a group of similar data. So we have this, so we have this. So, and this is how an array actually looks like generally. This is the function of an array in any programming language. In JavaScript, let me not use any programming language. Yeah, Damilala, your hand is raised.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, why did you not write the array?
Why did I not?
Like, why didn't you write the array in full?
I is not no this const r is not it doesn't define the array. This is me declaring it
Okay,
as
as a
this
variable.
yeah this is a variable name. What defines this to be an array is this square bracket.
All right,
What makes it an array is this square bracket. So
all right,
me saying r is a variable name. So
all right,
this is how an array is in JavaScript. I don't know how
all
an
right,
array looks like in Python or C++, but for JavaScript is what our major focus is on. Is this is
all right,
how an array looks like.
all right.
So an array only holds similar data type. An array cannot hold a number. Please confirm my screen is visible enough, or do I have to zoom it in?
Please zoom
Sorry,
in.
can you
Please,
zoom it a
please
little?
zoom in. Please zoom in.
Okay. Is this perfect?
Okay, yes.
Okay. So this is how an array looks like, and you don't have to define any other thing, just a similar data type. If we put a 1 here now, it's going to work basically. Let me launch this code. Let me launch it in our browser so that we can see what we have. Who can tell me why I'm having this error on my screen? Who can tell me why I'm having this error on my screen? So that is simply because of the way I called it. Let me go to the model.js model. Let me go to the model slash model HTML. So so you can see that I have 4 elements in my array. Let me save this. I only have 5 elements in my array. So you can see that this is how the array looks like. It's not a process that puts um, a different array, a different data element, such as probably a string. It's not a good practice for you to mix both a number data type and a string data type together in an array. If you want to do something like that, you have to use an object, which I'm going to discuss later. So this is what an array looks like. Array is in the form of square bracket, and it counts its element from, the normal way we count elements is from 1 to 5. but our own element right here is starting from 0. Our own element is starting from 0. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That is how you... Oh, my network is breaking, or is it your network breaking? Please confirm if my network is breaking
Okay,
or...
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
All right. So I made mention that the this is how an array basically looks like. You don't have to mix it up with a normal with a different data type, just a number. It's just a good practice that you use a similar data type to it. And I made mention that there's a difference between an array and an object. I wrote right here that array holds similar data type, while an object holds different data type. So you can see the difference here between an array and an object. You can see that this is an array on the right side of array of animals, which include a cat, a dog, a monkey, and a goat, while an object holds different kind of data type, which is, let me simulate that in my VS Code. So const my details. So what defines an object is actually this square bracket, curly braces. Miriam, do you understand now? Do you know the difference between the square bracket and a square bracket and a curly braces?
Yes, sir.
So a curly brace is basically an object, while the square bracket is for array basically. So I said that an object. Let me write a comment here. Object. An object is simply for different data types. So for an object now, I can define a name right here and just write Femi Blaze. I have a comma here. I have my job, and for you to be able to differentiate in for you to be able to break the line, if you don't put a comma when you're writing an object or an array, it's actually going to give you an error. So you have a job. My job is software developer. My age. Let me now show you that I can also write a different data type. Age equals let me use 30. Sorry, I'm not 30. I'm under 18. No, so you guys will not be saying that family is 30 years old. I'm not 30 years old. That's on a lighter note. So I can also write a string. I can also write a what's the name? I can also write a boolean attached to it. So can I drive? Can drive. Drive equals true. So what other data type do we have? Okay, we have phone number. Phone equals 090603598. Sorry. So you can see that decimal numbers. You can see that at this point, this is a simple number. This is an example of a big int. This is an example of a big int, which I made mention of in the previous class. That big ints are... Sorry, please, what was that? Big int is a number bigger than right multiple number, a decimal number already. So you can always check up on... I made mention of big int in the last class, so I'll just write it as a string. So most times object always comes in form of a string basically. So this is... let me console the log this console.log my details. So Hilary, your hand is raised. Please go ahead.
Okay,
Hilary,
sir.
your hand
Can
is.
you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Okay. I said this bracket and this stuff, they make a difference. Like, is it you must use this one for object, you must use this one for array, you must use this one for
Yes, I made mention that if you want to define an array, you use the square bracket. When did you join this class? That was the same question we asked. I just answered.
I joined since I'm just asking, is it a must? Like, will it make the code not work?
Wait, when you are trying to define an array, which is similar data type, which is something you'll be using, you want to make use of an array. Things. An object is basically you an object, right? We have Joker, we have Silver, we have Messi. As I made mention of, I said that an array of objects, an object can actually take in any kind of data type. That is why an array can actually go into an object. But an array cannot take in an object. But most times, if you check out some API calls, you would see that an array actually comes, but it's actually coming in form of an object, which is this. So that is the difference between an array and an object. An array is basically used for similar data type when you want to map through something. Do you understand, Hilary? Do you understand? I don't know. Maybe I'm communicating in this class today. Please, am I communicating?
Yes, sir. We understand you, sir.
No. Please. Are we communicating? Are you guys getting what I'm saying, or is you're confused?
Yes, sir, we are getting that.
Sir, can you do a recap about the array?
Okay.
Like you
All
said, the
right.
array will not take in the object of.
Okay. Miriam, your hand is raised. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, please. I don't get what you did with the number. You were saying something about big ink before.
Yeah, I was saying something
The
about big
network was
int.
bad, so
In
yeah,
when
the
I
network
was
was bad, so I didn't
in
get what you
the
said. Can you?
in the beginning of our JavaScript class, I made mention of the different type of data types we have.
Yes,
We have
yes,
string, we have number, we have boolean, and
yes.
that. So out of that, for you to be able to write large numbers in JavaScript, JavaScript, once you begin to get into thousands, like 1,000, JavaScript begins to see it as a decimal, and it's not going to accept it. That is why in ES 2020 they brought in a data type called big int. They brought in a data type called big int, which allows users to be able to save large numbers. What the big int does is actually allow people to data a large number together. That is what a big int actually does. You understand, Miriam?
Yeah, I do. So we have to put the large number in quotes, huh?
Yeah, you have to put it in a string so
That's
that
the,
it's going to.
oh, that
Yeah,
is what I want to do.
yeah,
All right, thank you.
yeah. So I made mention that an array. So now this is an array, but Damilola, your question that the difference between an array and an object, that an array cannot take in an object, something like this. All these are going to work in production, in production, but by the time you get into development, you won't see something like this in a code base. basically. You won't be able to see something like this in a code base, something like name, Sunday, Sunday. So let's check our array. Let's check our array. So you can see that our array is also holding this object, but it's going to work. But in the normal real world scenario, you would never see where an array is holding an object, basically. So it's just object holds an array, but an array cannot hold an object. Because when your backend developer is sending the informations to you to the front end, it's actually going to come in form of an object, which is what we have on line 20, which is what we have on line 29 right here. This is an object. This is how your backend developer is going to send every information you need to the front end for you, so that you can be able to consume the data into your application. Do you understand the difference now between the array and an object?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
Understand now.
All right. So these are, when you are working with an array, there are different kind of, sorry. When you are working with an array, there are different kind of array method, which makes your work easier. And one thing I want you to know is that an array does not also defeat the for loop. What a for loop does, is also the same thing that some of the array method does, which like the map. So you can see that we have a const right here. And one thing about a const that we have is that you can't mutate a const. Basically, if you remember when we are using the let and the const in array, in the normal JavaScript syntax, when you define something as a const, you can't come like this. You can't come and do array equals, let's do this, Sunday, can't do Sunday, let's do gf, jk, let's do this and now save it. So let's see what we have. You can see that you cannot reassign a value that is defined with a const when you are using a const. But one thing about an array that is there is that an array is a JavaScript data type, which you can be able to mutate, which can actually add to the method inside it. You can actually add to the element, you can actually delete from it. So this is how you, if you want to mutate an object in JavaScript, this is what you do. Array does push, array does push equals which letter do we stop?
The network is cracking.
Breaking. Is it my network or your network? George, please, can you confirm you can hear me?
Actually, I can hear you. I think just check your network, guys. I can hear him clearly. I don't know why you guys can hear him.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, George.
Sometimes the network just breaks.
Oh, sorry. Please bear with us. We are in Nigeria. So I was saying that how you can mutate a value in an array method. How you can mutate an array, how you can add to an array, you use the push function, which is this. Did you understand what I said previously before defining the array method? Did anyone understand what I said previously before going into this array, the different array method? Let me come over it again. I said that previously, if you are using a const, I made mention that if you are using a const in JavaScript and you want to redefine an element to it, and you do something like this, array equals, let me do this, array equals let me put Sunday. And you save this. If we go to our console, no, I'm going to do it right here. If we go to our console, we would see that it's giving us an error saying that you cannot reassign a const value. But when you're using an array, it gives you some rare privileges. It gives you some power. Overwrite the elements actually. That is why you have an array method called array.push. So when you're using array.push, you are adding to an element behind.
I'll go back first, then she will.
Cecilia, please can you, what happened?
Sorry, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, that's all right. Thank you. So I made mention that if you are making use array.push, you are actually adding to the elements, which when you are using, if you are using a normal array, when you are using a normal syntax to add to a const, you can't reassign it. But with array, you can actually edit, you can actually mutate the data that is actually inside. George, please confirm you can hear me actually. George, is it my network?
Hello, see, if you have,
So
I
I
think
can
we should
hear
just
you.
give people like, I think we should give people 2 seconds. If you have the network issue, can you just refresh? Because I can hear him very clearly. I don't know. Just refresh your network. That's it.
Right now, the network is breaking. I can't hear him.
Now I can
It's
hear him
breaking.
again.
It's breaking. So
No, the network is not speaking. It is.
uh, I think it's this. Okay. Okay, if you want to ask a question, can you ask now before he comes back? What's the issue? Samson, do you have a question?
Yes, please.
What was the question?
For,
Hello, Femi Bless, are you
so,
back? What was the question?
okay, it's just on this array push that is just talking
Okay.
about. I noticed that for the const array there was an equal to sign to those item inside the square bracket, but for the array
Yeah.
push it was just from array dot push straight up with a bracket, and we have the
Okay.
reassigned item. Is there no an equal
Okay.
to sign? Or yeah.
Okay. So that's it.
Yeah, thank you very much, George. It's simply that when you are trying to mutate, please confirm you can hear me.
Okay. The first, can you hear me?
Can hear you now.
yeah,
Okay.
we
The
can hear you
first
now, sir.
cons. Remember.
Yeah, George,
Any
can
value
you?
that you are assigning. Hello, Femi, are you back?
Yeah, you can go ahead, George. Go ahead. Don't worry. Just go ahead.
Okay.
When you,
Okay. Now you remember that when you assign a value, when you assign anything, even if you use a let or you use a const, you are going to do an equal to sign. So it's the same thing with the array. What happened with the array method was to sign because we were not assigning a new value. Instead, we were adding into the existing value which you already had. Do you understand? So even if you had like maybe say 1, 2, 3 or A, B, C, D, we wanted to add more numbers or more alphabet to the array. We were not doing a new array. So we were not reassigning anything. We were just adding to what we already had. So that's what the array method does. It can add and it can remove. Do you understand? That's why there was no equal to sign because he's basically telling the system that look, I want to add all these other values into water. It's very useful when you are doing something. Let's assume that you were working on a project and you had like 10 or 5, 6 data, and you already have a structure of what you're doing. And then somebody comes up and say, okay, I need you to add more information to this. So instead of reassigning everything and trying to go to your code one after the other, you just use an array method and either remove or add. So that's just what he did. So an equal to sign wasn't really needed since he wasn't reassigning any value. He was just adding or removing as the case may be. Do you understand?
Very well, thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, George. So when you are reassigning, when you are adding more values to an array, you don't need the equal to sign. There are different kind of array method which include push. I'll just run a breakdown of them. Let me just run a breakdown of each one of them, which is
Please
array.push.
go back to your phone.
Okay, Damblela, sorry. Yeah, so this is it. You have a question, Damblela?
No, I just wanted you to go back to your code.
Okay, so when you are using array.push, you're actually just adding to the existing data which is in the database, which is in your previous array. You are not reassigning, you are just adding to it. So that is why you have the push function. And what the push does is that you add you add a new element. If we do something like this now, if we come here and add Sunday, you would see that we also have Sunday on our array right here. We also have Sunday right here, which is we are adding to the end of, when you are using a push, you are adding to the end of your JavaScript element, of your array element. If you are using that is for push. If you are using array.shift, array.onShift, on shift, that means we are actually adding to the beginning. We have Z, Q, P, T. So for when you are using an on shift, they are actually adding to the start of the element. So you can see now that the Z is supposed to go after the D, but when we use an on shift, it's actually adding from the beginning. Do you understand the difference between the push and the on shift? Hello guys, do you understand the difference between the push and the on shift?
Yes, we understand that.
Okay. All right. That is to add to an array. If you want to remove from an array, what you do is there are three types of removing from an array. Let me just comment this. Let me do adding to an array. Oh, yes.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me? I don't know. Your network is bad. I can barely even grasp today's lesson. I don't know whether like you can just be writing comments on those things that you are typing, or you push this into talks.
I'm going to be writing comments on it so that you can actually follow. So
okay,
this is to
are
add.
you going to push it?
Yeah, I'm definitely going. I push all my code. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be push. Adding to an array, I'm going to add dot push. Sorry, I'm just writing a comment on it. So when you are checking through the code base, you will understand it. We have add to the end of an array. This here is adding to the beginning. So these three functions we wrote, right? These two, this push and on shift, those are the ways you add to an array. if you want to remove from an array, there are three ways you remove from an array, which includes the pop, We do array.pop. Am I having anything? Sorry, please. Arrays is supposed to be written in capital, small letter rather. Array.pop, and you once you do array.pop, and let's check this out. You remove the last letter, which is, let's check this. Array.pop should actually console. What is our last letter there? 36. Our last letter here should be Sunday. Okay. Our last letter here, once you do an array.pop, you can see that Sunday is already out of the equation right here. Please, can you confirm you understand what I did with the array.pop?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for an array.pop, you are supposed to, it's going to remove an element from the last element on the inside the array. Is actually going to remove it. That is what array.pop does. And for array.shift, what array.shift does is that it removes from the start. So you can see that the start of our element should actually have a Z, but you will see that the Z is actually off, which is what we have. And you can see the letters, we had 15 before, but we had 16. We need the array.shift, which is Sunday, and the Z, which was at the index of 0 before. Samson, your hand is raised. Someone hand is raised actually. Samson, go ahead.
Yes,
Your hand
sir.
is raised.
Sorry, sir. Please, I just want to. Yes, please, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, can you go ahead?
Hello, can you? All right. Concerning that pop, don't we have to state what we want to remove? Will it automatically target the last element and remove it?
That is what array.pop does. It removes the last element inside the array. It removes the last element inside the array. And array.shift, regardless of the elements we want to remove. So far is the last element. We know that is the last element we want to remove. We just use an array.pop and it removes the last element. And if we want to remove a certain element at the beginning, we do what? We use array.shift. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so if you now want to remove an array, if you want to remove a particular array, what you need basically is something like array.splice. And the particular element you want to remove and the other element you want to remove, which is the element you want to remove is 2. So if we did with the list of what we have in our array right here, what element do you think is going to be removed? What element do you think is going to be removed if we check what we have? You can see that we said all the elements and it only gave us the array at position 0 and position 2 and position 1. Do you understand? Is it clear the way you use the array?
No.
Okay. So now.
Please, why are you reducing that is?
So.
You're not supposed to, especially that one. You're supposed to.
Yeah, so for the array.splice, you have to insert your start element where you want to start from, and array.splice where you want to start from and where you want to end actually. So this is what I did. I just did array.splice and just two elements on. Let's check what do we have currently before this array dot splice. Let's check what we have. This is the result of what we have left. This is the result of what we have left right here. This is the result of what we have. Let's put it somewhere here so that we can have a Ctrl Z, Ctrl V. I'm coming. This is how it's going to look like, but I'm just going to let me just quickly run through this too. Let me comment this out so that we can. So this is it. So you can see that what we have currently now is Q, P, S, key A. That is what we do. That is what we have. And by the time we add a slice and we do a 2 and a 4, which is, you can see now, when you over on it, when your VS the pass number and the delete count and the number. So now we're going to remove element from the array and add this is how it does. So when you do array dot slice, before I do this, let's comment what we have in console.log. This is shift. So let's check what we have. So you can see that we have what we just have, right? Damilala. So what we currently have. So you can see that online 81, where we did another console, you can see what we have is just Q and P. That is the first element we have at here. That means the first element we have at 0, and the element we have at position 1, which is the new. Do you understand? So if you want to delete,
okay.
If you write array dot slice 2, anything after 0 and 2, the length of 2, every other thing is going to be deleted. So if I do 5, if I do 2 and 5, 2, 5, if I do 2, 5, you would see that from 2, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see that which element was deleted. Let's check and see which element was deleted. Q is still there, P is still there, E is still there, F is still there, G is still there, H is still there, I. Every other thing is what? Which other one was deleted? D was deleted. Let's confirm what we have. D, oh no, okay. D was deleted, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. D was deleted. E was deleted. Only D was deleted.
D was deleted. Is it like it's one of pieces? Is it one?
I'm trying to confirm which number was deleted actually. T was deleted, A was deleted, okay. T was deleted, A was deleted,
okay.
B C was deleted, and D was deleted. So you can see that anything after position 2, that means after 0 and 2, at position 2, everything after it and everything after position 5, before position 5 was deleted. So
okay, that's true. That's true. Like the first 2, then
the first 2 is going to be there, and the last 5, anything in between. That is what an array dot slice actually does. Do you understand?
I get one.
Okay, so we have another thing called array dot reverse. What does array dot reverse do? The same way you have Let's try array.reverse. Array.reverse. What does array.reverse does is simply reverse the elements the way they have. You can see from the back, from K, the way it is like this. Who are those that the hands are raised, please? Yes, Sirat, your hand is raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, sir. I want to ask that in array splice, if we want to remove the element, can't we just declare the element instead of using their position numbers?
You can't declare the element. You have to use the position number actually. It's the position number you use to delete when using an array when you are trying to splice.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So we have right here, we have a reverse method, and the reverse method is just the same way it's going to be, which is on line 30, on 82.
My hand is raised. No.
Oh, Ovi, sorry, I missed your hand. Sorry. What's your question, Ovi?
I'm still confused with the array dot slice.
Okay. What is your confusion there actually?
I became confused when you added 2, like when you did that 2,5.
Okay. What this actually does, what, no, sorry. What this does is simply that it's going to, you can see that at position 2, let's look at the result of what we have right here. I'm trying to, let me make that so we can see what we have. So this is actually what we have. Line 14 online. Wait, I'm coming. Let me, before I add the splice to it, let me console what we have. So this is what we have right here. These are the elements we have. So this is the elements we have before we had these two splice. So we have one, Ovi, are you following, please?
Yeah.
Okay, we have 0. You know that an array does not count from 1. It counts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we actually have 14 elements there, but because array comes from 0, it's going to start from, it's going to be, there are 14 elements there, but we have 13 numbers. So we want position 2. Everything as position 2. That means when I did array.2, when I did array and I added a 2 right there, this is what we have. You can see that everything after 2 was deleted. Ovi, are you following?
Yes.
So everything after position 2 was deleted. So now let me now add the 5 to it. That's anything after position 2 and anything after position 5 was deleted. So let's copy what we have right here and compare it with what we have here. So this is it. So you can see that QP we're at position 2. So 3, what we have at position, this is, let me indicate the value up here. We have 0, we have 1, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7, we have 9, we have 10, we have 11, we have 12, 13, 14, 13 instead of 14. Just have 13. So we have 14 elements. So if we now check, Q is at position 0, P is at position 1. That is 2. So anything after T, which is at the index of 2, which is at the index of 3, which is at the index of 4, which is T, A, B, C, D. Everything in that middle will be deleted, and everything after position 5 will be rendered. Everything after position 5 will be rendered on the screen. So, do you understand now?
Okay, is it like the first two kept the position 1 and 2, and then position 1 to 5 was
They are not going to be
deleted?
deleted. Anything after anything after at position 3 is going to be deleted. Position 3 to position 5 is going to be deleted. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. If you don't understand, use underline. So, Miriam, they're actually simple, but they can be complex in sometimes. Actually, Miriam, yeah, Samson, you have this race. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. I think I got the idea, sir, but I just need a little bit of clarification based on what you just said, that array starts counting from 0. And I
Yes.
think the deletion that I saw here started from that element in position 2. Does that mean that it starts exactly from 2 to where we have 5? Because
Yes.
when you say start after 2, I was a bit confused. Is it exactly from that position where we have 2 that the deletion starts from? So
Okay.
that, yeah.
Splice. I have array of splice actually, and I do a save. What we have at 1 and 2, that is 0 and 1, is Q and P. Are you following something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Q and P. So by the time we save it, and go to our browser, you can see that everything after Q and P, which is at position 0 and position 1, is actually deleted. You can see. Damilola, Abi Samson, sorry.
Yes, I'm with you, sir. Yes, sir.
So you can see everything we have at 0 and 1 was deleted. Everything we have after 0 and 1 was deleted. So by the time we put 5, so everything from 2, 3, 4, 5, that is A, B, C, D will be deleted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything in are going to be
Started
deleted.
counting from 1 from there.
I didn't start counting from 1. I started counting from 2. That is T, A, B, C. Let's check it. Let's check the results. You can see that that is 1, 2, 3. That is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is everything from. Let's check what we have. You can see that everything we have, the next letter we had is E. That is from P and Q, which is at position. Let me open this. This one is also console logging this. So you can see
Sorry,
that.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, it's Hillary. I'm just observing. I guess it's that 5 started counting from here to end. That it started counting from there 0, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Yes.
5. Then
That
you
is
take out
what we
everything.
actually. So you now count 0, 1, 2, 3. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is from T. It counts 1. B, A is 2, B is 3, C is 4, and D is 5. So it counts everything and now deletes it. Do you understand? Samson, do you understand now? Samson. Samson, are you still there? Samson, okay, all right.
There's one
No, like I wanted to ask that splice 2 to 5. We can just like say, okay, cut everything from position 2 to 5. Like, can we like just put it that way?
And position 5. That is what you are saying. Remove
No, I didn't get
in
your
between
network
position.
was you were breaking off. Your network was bad for a second there.
What it actually means is that you removing from position 2, everything in between position 2 and position 5, remove everything. I don't need it any longer. That is simply what it means.
Okay, sir.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello. Please, I want to clarify something, please.
All right.
Does it mean that the two parameters inside the slide, the first one stands for hold whatever figure that is there and delete the rest. Then the second one
Yes.
stands for delete whatever figure that is mentioned there.
Yes. That is what it means. I don't no, that is not what it means actually. You're actually confusing yourself with that. What
Okay,
this
see what I
means is
mean. This first parameter, which is 2,
yes.
what it does is hold this hold whatever is in this figure and delete the rest.
Yes. When we have two like this, what it's simply saying is that hold the first two parameters, which is Q and P, hold it. When we now have this thing there, when we now have a second parameter, you can have a third parameter. Let's check this out. So, no, can only have two parameters. So, can see that when we did this, it removed everything from C to D, which is 0, 1, 2, which is in between. This C to D, it removes everything and started at E. Do you understand?
Yes, it deleted everything in the from 1 to 5. Not actually the one array to 5. Like you say delete
Yes, it
5
in between. Yeah,
yes,
it
in
computed between. So that's
so the
it.
first parameter holds while the second parameter deletes.
Yes, actually, that is what it does.
Right.
That is what it does. Okay. So, do you understand the slice? Are we clear with the slice now?
Yes.
Okay. So let's go to a different array method, which is reverse. I think we can understand the reverse when we are using a number. Let's do const num equals no. Let's use an array 1, 2, 3. So let's use 1 to 8. Let's now use array.reverse num.reverse. We have num.reverse. So once we have num.reverse, it's actually going to give us okay, we didn't console.log num, so we can't see the value here. Console.log num. So when we save this, we'll see that what we had previously was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And by the time we did a reverse, it one behind and brings it to the first part. Do you understand what the reverse does? Is the reverse how the reverse works? Is it clear? I
It
need
started
response.
counting from back.
Yeah, it's like counting from the
Yes, sir.
end. It's actually counting from behind. That is what reverse does. That
Sorry,
is
sir.
simple. Yeah, Hilary, go ahead.
Sir, please, can you run it? Let's see it on the console. I didn't see it.
So this is it. It started counting from 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is what
Okay,
the array dot reverse does. It starts counting from behind.
okay.
Are we
So
clear?
it actually did not take anything out.
You didn't take anything out. You are just reversing the position. You are just reversing it. So, do you understand what the reverse does? Do you understand what the reverse does? Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Does anyone have any question? Does anyone
Yes, sir.
have?
Pastor, I
Yeah,
want to,
please go ahead,
yes,
Miriam.
sir. So I want to
Okay.
ask, is the reverse for numbers only? Because we
Yeah?
use numbers reverse. Said, I want to, can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello. Yeah, I said, I
Yes,
want to ask, is the reverse, the array, is it for numbers only? Because we use numbers reverse. Or is it
it's
because
not for.
we're using numbers?
Okay. Also use it on this. So let's try it on this. Let's try it on this. So let's see what we have for line 82. 82. Where is 82? I'm coming. Where is it? Line 90 actually. Can see we had K. So it reversed it from K. Look at what we have when we had it at when we had it previously. K was when we reversed it. This is what it gave to us. Our first letter should be Q, but we have QPT. That is what we have. But by the time we reversed it for a number, when we reversed it, you can see K, which is the last letter, came to the beginning. Actually, do you understand?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I muted myself. I didn't know. There's also something called concatenate. What bringing arrays together, and this is what you are going to do. You do um, equals array dot concat. You can see the array method are inbuilt in JavaScript, so you don't have to start cracking your head. Oh, sorry. Uh, Anyone hear me clearly? So we are trying to join two. We are trying to join two arrays together. That is why we have array.concat. I'll just write here joining two arrays together. So let's console.log join to see. So this is what we have. So you can see that we joined both numbers together without, previously, if we actually want to do that in JavaScript, when we have our what's the name? This is what we are going to do. We will do something like this: const my name equals John surname const surname equals Gabriel. By the time we want to, why are you telling me my spelling is wrong? Gabriel. By the time we want to join this together, I do console.log um, name my name plus surname plus surname. So let's save it. What you have on line 95, can see we added this already. Why are you adding a 0 to this? So this is what we are going to do normally if there is no array.concat. We now have to console log both of them and now use a plus sign to join them together. Now we are now going to join both of them together on that position. So, but with concat, you just use the concatenation and you put both of them together, and you are done. There's also something called array.join, where you want to join two elements together, and you want to separate them like this. Const console.log. Let me just do console.log directly. Console.log. Sorry, please, can you still hear me? Console.log.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. We do console.log join. Let me change this letter to something else. Together. Let me just use like con. So let me remove this so it doesn't give us error. So we are trying to join a dash. You know that sometimes when you want to separate your elements one after the other, you have to put something like a join, something to join them. Like when you are writing a date, you have something like this when writing a date: 12/09/2024. Normally, you won't get this in when you are getting your dates. Actually, if you are working with dates in JavaScript, it's going to give you some kind of long random numbers in milliseconds. So, but this is what we want to achieve with our letters and numbers. So we are going to do con.join, and what do we need there? We need a slash. So by the time we do this and we check what we have, you can see that a slash is added to both of them, to all the letters. So that is what is dividing them. Do you understand? Do you understand what the slice does? Or let me the join, what the join does. Let me use this so you can see it clearly. So you can see that we have a dash that is separating each and every one instead of the way both of them are modeled together previously on line console.log con. So you can see what we have on line 17. Everything is just separated by a comma, and we don't want ours to be separated by a comma. What you use for the join is you just use the join and put the element. If you don't want any element there, probably a comma, you just put a space in between. You just do something like this, and it works the same way. It divides everything by a space. Do you understand what the join does? Are we clear with the join? Hello, do we understand?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. But the other one before the join, the other one you said I didn't get it.
Concatenate.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That English.
It's not English, it's just JavaScript. Concatenation, it means you bringing together two arrays, bringing them together into one array instead of you having them as a separate array. So if you want to, let's do console.log num and array right here on line 87. If we do this, you will see that um, we have two what concatenation does now. Do you understand what concatenation does now?
Sir, I wasn't hearing you. It was breaking. I didn't get you.
I said that what concatenation basically does is bringing all elements into one single array instead of doing a console.log in two places to make them. What we did on line 87 right here, what we did on line 87 right here is that we console.log array and we also console.log um, the number. So by the time we did that, it gave us two separate array, but with concatenation, it gives us just one single array. So do you understand, Hilary?
Yes, sir, I'm following.
Okay, so that is what an array is
But
actually.
sir, you didn't put the concatenate on it. You just put the comma. Is that how it's being done?
See line 97, what you just need is the two elements you want to concatenate. If it's num, let's do this. Num, and we have Control Z, we have array, and we check line 97 in our console. Line 97, you can see that our number came first and the letter came second. That is what concatenation does. You just have to put a concat. It just concat. You just see it's a function. All these push, slice are inbuilt function from JavaScript. So you just have to read the documentation to know which particular one you want to use. Basically, do you understand? Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can
Yes, sir.
anyone
Yes,
hear?
sir, I can.
Okay,
I
all right.
can.
Okay. Yeah, is there any question before we move on? Well, I'm so sorry for the network actually. I'm so sorry. Is there any question before we move on? Is there any question before we move on? Okay, there's no array called reduce. What does a reduce do? Reduce is simply that if you want to add an element to something like this, let's do console.log. Want to do 2 plus 2, no, 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Okay, let's do this. We want to add this together. We have to start adding the plus sign. But with JavaScript, that is line 105, with array.reduce, line 105. Where's line 105? Line 105. Why is this not adding? So let's check it out. You can see we did the addition, but we have to start adding the numbers one after the other. We have to start putting the plus sign in between them. So, but we don't want that actually. We just want a straight numbers. So we do something like this. We bring this into an array. We do this const um, let's how do this. We do a function const addition. Sorry, who is making me yell, please? Hillary. Okay. So we now have add num dot reduce. For you to do a reduce function, you have to add a reduce, then you have a function in between them. Function, it takes in two parameters, which is the start, which is and we have the position, and we also have the this. So we just do this. You have to put a curly braces there. When you're writing a function, don't always forget to add your curly braces. So you do return, just return, and let's see. Let's now console.log our addition. And let's see what we have. And tell us this. So you can see when we added it, we didn't have to put the plus sign in front of it. We just had to add everything one after the other. We just had to add everything one after the other and take each position, and it actually adds up all together. So do you understand what the reduce method does?
No, sir, I don't get it.
What don't you get there?
Okay, like the stuff after the function, that bracket, I don't know what is inside, like ACC.
This ACC is just me declaring a function, a variable name. When you are working with array.reduce, it takes in two parameters, which is the current and the accumulation. I can have this as let me use a different name, probably because that's what is confusing. Let me just use um, cat, and let me use dog here, dog, and I do cat plus dog. It's still going to give us the same thing actually. So you can see we still have the same thing on line that. Those ones are just a variable which I'm actually defining. So what this is actually doing, what this is telling us is that take the current position and add it to the next position. That is what this actually means. That is what this plus sign is doing right there. Do you understand? So if we do this minus and we go back to check. So let's see. Let's see what we have. You can see we have minus 35. Instead of us just having to add the addition table one after the addition sign one after the other, we are not adding that. We just add once, and the reduce function kind of that is the same thing the reduce function actually does. It loops over everything one after the other. And if we want to also do a multiplication, we can just do that right here. And if we do a multiplication, we will definitely see the result. You can see it's 0. So when you do the multiplication of 1 times 2 times, I don't know the multiplication table, but I did. So just for you to round up, for you to do an addition, that is what what will I call it? That is what a norm is. That is what the reduce function basically does. So do you understand it? You can't add a letter.
Sir, I will not lie, I still don't get it.
I'm still lost though. Where did you get the variable cat and dog?
It's just you defining any variable. I'm not getting it from anywhere. I said that a reduced function takes into parameters, which is the accumulation, which stands for the accumulation and the current value. That is what it does. It takes the accumulation and the current value. So when it is 2 plus 5, that is, Hilary, yes, Hilary, can you let me understand where you're not getting, so I don't just keep shooting blank, so I know where to target my.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So you said cat and dog, right? Then return cat plus dog. Then in the console.log is addition that is there. So
I can't hear you.
I am not getting this. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, I'm not getting the flow. Like, I don't know if you can take it. What is the concurrent and what is the accumulative here?
Okay, this is it. The current one is 2. That is 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3, which is the first one. 2 plus the default one, let me just say JavaScript, the array method of reduce assumes that everything starts from 0. So there is an invisible 0 here. Let me just say that because I don't know how I'm going to explain that. There is an invisible 0 which a user is not adding actually, which is there, which is why we have this 0 right here. Just take this 0 at, okay, 0 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, 0 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, so that at every position it is adding it. So now if you say 0 plus 2 is going, what is it going to give you? 0 plus 2, someone should give me a response so we understand the flow. 0 plus 2 is what?
2.
2.
2 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 3 is what?
5.
5.
5 plus 4 is what?
9.
9 plus 5 is what?
14.
14 plus 6 is what?
20.
20.
20 plus 7 is what?
27.
27 plus 8 is what?
35.
That is it. So the cat is actually the accumulator, while the dog is the current. So 0, that is that invisible 0 I talked about. That means you have to put a 0 here. So you say 0, which is 0 plus 2. 0 plus 2. The 0 plus 2 gives 2 plus 3. That is an plus 3. That is the next number. That is the current value, which is the number 3. 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3, that is 4. 4, I said 2 plus 3, that is 4. 2 plus 3, that is 5. 5 plus 4, that is 9. So that is what the current and the accumulator does. The current is the dog, while the accumulator is the cat. Hilary, do you understand? This is actually going to be essential.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I'm following.
Okay, sir, I have a question.
Okay,
If
go
you
ahead.
don't want to add, you don't want to start from 0. I noticed that 0 is where you are starting from. Your accumulator at first is 0. If I want to start from yes, I don't want to start from 0. And what will happen?
It's going to 2 plus 3, 2 plus 2 plus 2.
It's 4.
You can see 2 plus 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is what?
7.
7 plus 4 is what?
11.
11.
11 plus 5 is what?
16.
16 plus 6 is what?
22.
16 plus, yes, 22.
20 plus 7 is what? I have good
29.
mathematics.
29.
29,
29 plus
37.
37.
so that is what we got 37 years. The zero we are having here is the initial value. The zero we have here is the initial value. That okay, anything you have right here, add it to the first number, then you spill it over just like that. You keep adding. Then once you have added zero to the initial, once you have added this number we have right here to the initial number, what do? You add that what you have at position zero. That is 0 plus 2. That is 2. 2 plus 3. That is 4. 4. Oh God, why am I skipping? Why is my mouse skipping this morning? 2 plus 3, that is 5. 5 plus 4, that is 9. So what this initial value of 0 does is just adding, it's just for you to initialize the calculation. So that means your first number automatically, even if you don't add the 0, it's still going to work. Even if you don't add the 0, it's still going to give us 35. But it's just a good standard practice that okay, when you are using a reduce function in JavaScript, you have to have an initial variable, an initial calculator, which is the default of 0. That's why we added 0 to it. Damlola, your hand is raised. Go ahead. Damlola, your hand is raised. Damlola, if you are speaking, I can't hear you. Damlola, if you are speaking, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. I want to ask that when we say that 2 or 0, is the 0 the cat and the number in the array dog?
No. Okay, this is it. I meant that you can see I've already removed the 0 and it's old. What this basically does is the cat is the accumulator. The cat is the one that accumulates it one after the other. Afolabi, I think is your network. Probably you have to drop off the call and join again.
Okay.
So the cat is the accumulator. That is why I said the accumulator the starting point of the accumulator is what? Is 0.
0, yeah. Okay.
So 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 5 is what?
14.
14. 14 plus 6, that is 20.
20.
20, that is 27. 27 plus 8, that's 35.
So what's the function of the dog?
That's why I said it's just a standard practice for you to have a 0 as the accumulator. Even if you don't add the 0, JavaScript automatically add a 0 behind the scene.
All right. I understand.
So that is it.
I understand better, yeah. I understand now. I understand.
Okay.
Thank you.
So does anyone have any question about the reduce method? Does anyone have any? Okay, Josephine, go
Is
ahead.
it only numbers that we can use it for? Like if it's string, can I still use reduce for string?
I can use reduce for a string actually.
Okay.
You can't use reduce for a string. So that's it. If you add a number and a string together, if you add a number and a string together while doing a calculation in JavaScript, it's going to give you something called none, not a number. So that is it. So there's also another JavaScript function which is
Hello, good morning, sir. My hand is raised. I want to ask, can we replace the cat and dog with another variable names?
Yes, now you can replace it with another variable name. Let me use give me a variable name, Adio. Give me a variable name.
KodeCamp.
KodeCamp. And what? What should be the second one?
And task.
And tax. Okay, KodeCamp and tax. There are 5 answers. Okay, let's do KodeCamp. And here we have tax. So still going to give us the same result as we have, which is 35. Can you see it, Adio?
Yes, I've seen it.
So, yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Go ahead. Do you have a question? Damilola, go ahead. Do you have a question? Damilola, if you're speaking, I can't hear you. We also have...
It's a mistake, sorry.
Okay, all right. We also have a filter function in JavaScript in array, which is let's have amounts. You know, when you have a function in your bank, when you are trying to, let me use your bank app for example. You want to, let's have various numbers. First of all, let me do this. Let's do this 450 plus 300 here minus 500 300 minus 200 minus 100 naira. So now you want to calculate from this you are not good in maths, you know programming language, and you want to add, you want to render all your, you want to render all the, you want to check, you have like 1,000 transactions, and you want to check which ones are addition. So how are you going to do that using an array? See, this is what is the name? A long, like 1,000 which transaction that went in. Okay, the transaction that came in as a credit, let me use that. The transaction that came in as a credit, you want to check them. So let's use the filter function in JavaScript. So we do const inward. Let me use this word inward equals we have amount dot filter. So the amount dot filter so once you give me a parameter so that you can understand. Who can give me a parameter? A variable name. Who can give me a variable name?
Bio.
Bio. Okay, bio. Okay, bio. So let's try this. So we now have return bio less than 0, greater than 0. So let's check console.log inward. Console.log inward. So let's save and let's see. So you can see that when we, every other transaction that is lesser than 0, the filter function did not return them. The only function actually returned is actually any transaction that is greater than 0. And if you also want to return transaction that are lesser than 0, you just do this. And once you save it, it returns an array of the transaction we have made, which are lesser than 0. Do you understand?
Yes.
Understand the filter function? Sorry, please, did you understand the filter function? Hello, did you understand the filter function?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. I think at this point, there are still other array methods which we are going to keep looking at. We'll complete the class on array method in the next class. That's on Friday. So we have come to the end of today's class. And please, if you have any question, kindly go over the class and ask your question on the Discord channel.
Okay, I want to say something.
I'm always available to respond to your
Hello,
questions.
hello.